All right, I'd like to open this meeting. This is the Nottingham Zoning Board of Adjustment. Just so the three parties that we have this evening understand the rule of operation, we direct all questions through myself, the chair. The applicant goes first, presents their case. Anybody else who wishes to speak goes second. And we will render a decision. All right. Our first case, 1703 BA, application from Robert and Davies, requesting variance from Article 4, Section T2A of the zoning ordinance to permit a backlot subdivision of a lot of record after March 9th, 1993. Property is located at 364 State Road in Nottingham, tax map 32, block 23.
I'm Robert Davies, 364 State. Would you like us just to proceed?
Sure.
All right. Basically, a short history is that we've been in town for over 35 years, and when we bought our original lot, it was backland with a house on it. It didn't have any frontage. Over time, we bought land up from our neighbors. One was a camp lot, one was a person with a lot of frontage out front that passed away, and we bought his house from his estate. And finally, we bought up the back lots, which were both Kennison and Demerit Pond. They had frontage on both Kennison and Demerit Pond. And we sold our original house to my son and his wife, and to help defray the cost of buying the backland, we split the backland with them, and they included part of the cost of buying the backland in their mortgage. So they own a 23-acre piece on Kennison Pond with about 500 feet of frontage. It's at least 500 feet of frontage on Kennison. They put that, they have a daughter that they're trying to educate, and they're short of cash, so they decided to put that piece of property on the market to sell it. I said, no, that's not what we bought this property for. Well, let's find a different way of doing this. What I tried to convince them of was to put the land into conservation. Well, the conservation easement process is ongoing for that piece of property. The amount of time that it's going to take is going to put them in a financial burden to keep their daughter in school. So I came up with this alternative plan, and what they agreed with me to do is that if we can get this backlot subdivision and sell the legitimate lot out front, it's not going to interfere with the conservation area out back, then I'll give them the proceeds from the sale of the lot out front, and when the conservation easement goes through, I'll take the proceeds from that. So that's the background of what we're trying to do. What we originally did was we bought enough frontage, or we kept enough frontage for ourselves on our lot so that we had, 250, yeah, it's about 250 feet of frontage on my lot. With the thought that we might be able to do, this was back before I built my house, with the thought that we might be able to do a backlot subdivision then, when we came before the planning board at that time, O'Rourke told us that we were past the date and that we couldn't do it. And nobody ever suggested, and I was pretty naive in those days, nobody ever suggested that we could get a zoning variance for the date. And in the meantime, I've learned enough about it, so I think we have a legitimate case to ask for a variance to do this.
So I guess My question is, on this map that we have before us,
Mhm.
is this all one lot currently?
Yes, the two lines that we're proposing to do are the new lot line and the lot line along the right-of-way. So right now, that 250 feet of frontage is the frontage for Lot 23. And Lot 23 goes all the way back to, my house doesn't show on this map because this was done before my house was built. But my house is approximately across from the existing house on Lot 17. And in the middle, or about 100 feet off of the dirt driveway in Lot 23. Does that answer your question, Mike?
You're on 23. You're on the back one now, or no?
My house is 1,000 feet in on Lot 23.
So it shows up off this map.
No, it's not on that
Yeah,
map.
it's
This
not.
map was done before we built the house.
That's what I saw today.
If you look at 3217, that was our old house that we sold to our son.
Okay.
And our house would be kind of at an angle just above theirs, where it says existing Woods Road.
Yeah.
Our house is a left of where it says existing Woods Road, across from them. So our house is basically right across from their house, up a little bit on the hill.
Can I ask why you didn't put it on the plan?
Because this plan was already in existence, and my understanding from Paul was that we could have done a sketch, but I thought it would be more appropriate, seeing as we already had this plan in existence. And the easiest thing to do was just to cut in the lines that we're interested in doing.
For us to consider it, I think it would have been more accurate if you plotted whatever, houses and buildings were already there. So there's already a house on that lot that you're subdividing two more lots from.
One more lot.
So it's just, so what is this little piece in the corner? It's lot 32-17-3. The upper right corner of what's on the map.
That was the plan that we did with, Bob and Terry Gould.
And he left my planner left their last name off of it. The Goulds owned that
Right.
property when we,
We did a lot line adjustment.
and gave them a legitimate 2-acre lot, which they didn't have before. And it gave us the frontage that we needed to have legitimate frontage for. Originally, all 4 of these lots out front, one of which doesn't show completely in this picture, was owned, what was his name? Who owned the piece out front? Yeah, Wilkins. It was Wilkins' property.
Right.
And he had unsurveyed. We bought it from his estate, so we didn't know how much frontage we were getting. And when we got it, we were short enough frontage. We only had about, we had like 593 feet of frontage. And we wanted to put frontage into 3 lots. We wanted to turn where his house was, which is the one furthest to the bottom on Route 152. We wanted to turn that into a 2-acre lot. We wanted to turn the property that belonged to the Goulds into a 2-acre lot, and then we still wanted to have enough frontage for my son's lot and our new lot. And in the back of our mind, we had, at that time, we thought if we had enough frontage on our lot that we could get a backlot subdivision, sell a lot out front and build our house out back. Instead, we took Earl's word.
Instead, we're land rich and money poor.
Correct.
So really, all we're proposing to do is this front kind of angular hourglass or spool.
Correct.
And that one's not there.
So by legal standards, I would call it a backlot subdivision, but what we're really trying to do is cut off a front lot.
Can I ask what portion of this you're going to put into conservation?
Of our land?
The conservation easement would actually be our son's land,
Which would be,
not shown on,
yeah, but it is right there. Think so.
that's the audio's property, but it's off of Kennison. It doesn't show the land at the top. There's several pieces of property that, it does.
I think that was an adoption date or a new set of documents. So the lot was in existence before then. and the zoning law.
So to answer your question, it doesn't show on this map, but it's a 23-acre piece with frontage on Kennison Pond. It has, the only access to it is across the old logging road that you see on, that goes across my property. Which is, of course, one of the reasons why we don't want development out there.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Exact one.
Page 28.
Did Atlantic Survey Company update this recently, or?
The only thing that he did was he put the proposed lines in. And he updated the abutters.
House in here while it was at it, but,
We'll have to add the house before the town.
oh, okay. We get maps like this, we like to know what we're, seeing is in what's here. and-
Any questions from the board?
No, my only question was what the significance of the building is. Fire.
Yeah, just, it says minimum requirements for it, so we do allow backlot subdivisions, but there's a lot to be simplified, there must be a lot of record existing prior to the adoption. The original, this is a very complicated history, and I appreciate you giving that history.
So actually, lot that our house is on was a lot of record, but it also did not have any frontage on Route 152.
And you corrected that.
Correct. Funny.
Subdividing it off.
Only a little piece of it.
I make a motion that we accept case 17.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go, sir.
So,
You have a 30-day appeal window, so I wouldn't start anything for 30 days.
Accepted the case, but we've got I was going to say, we've accepted the point.
Oh, I'm
point of
sorry.
order.
I apologize.
Have about us?
yeah, that's
So, I'm sorry about that, folks.
It's just technical. We don't do it.
So, is there anybody else who wishes to speak towards this case this evening? Go on.
Yeah, look, I'm across the street, 360. I don't know what the impact is for me. What, will I see a new house right directly across the street?
So, they,
Driveway.
I'm sorry, sorry, what is your name again? What is his name again?
William Casson?
This is
where
the
would the house would
existing,
be back
well, we're not
here? We
sure
don't know.
because this is a lot that would be
There's water
so,
on here.
right,
down in this
right.
corner.
If
I
it
can't
were,
imagine that
if it were
it would be
me,
diverted
I would
across
be
the-
building up
Yeah.
in
And there
here.
won't be any new cuts for driveway? It
There-
will look the same, although.
There is an existing,
Existing
Curb
curb cut
cut.
right there, and we're going to use that as common driveway. The New lot, can't put that.
The only thing I might notice, being across the street from it,
Is
is
this
another
one.
house.
Depending on how much forest is there and how far back. Now, the land goes up,
Yeah.
drops off behind here, but it goes up this way.
Mhm.
So, she said, me building, I want to be, I want to be as high, as
Yeah.
far away from the road. It's not a beach, that's somebody else.
right,
Okay.
right. Their house is right on the
Yeah, that's-
road.
that's what I
been there
envisioned,
For a
you know,
number of years.
House, it wouldn't be a rental house.
We're selling the raw land. And as far as I know, we're going to be putting covenants on it. I wouldn't think that you could.
Any other abutters wish to speak towards this case? Any other new questions around discussion?
You're not Adam.
No. All right, so I make a motion to approve case 17003 DA as written. All in favor? All right. Thank you, guys. All right. I'd like to close the hearing on case 17003 at this time and open case 17002 DA. Application from Sarah Evans requesting a variance from Article 2, Section CA of the zoning ordinance to permit a two-lot subdivision with one lot having 195 feet of frontage where 200 feet is required. Property is located at 70 Ledge Farm Road in Nottingham. Identified by tax map 58, lot 6.
Hi, I'm Sarah Evans. Thanks for having us. This is my partner Matthew Harvey. And as you said, we were trying to take 10 acres we bought in 1984, my late husband Cliff and I, on Ledge Farm Road, lot number 70. And we're trying to make that divided about in half, but we're short 5 feet. When we bought it, it was closer to 406 feet. And Landry surveyed it last year. He did a lot line adjustment. And when he surveyed it, he came up 5 feet short. So we're asking for that 5 feet. If we could still divide it. In the future, I might sell the 70 house, so I would be asking for that to be the lesser frontage, and I would like to keep 200 feet going back into the 32 acres in the back. That was one of the lot line adjustments we did. There's no marking on the front. We thought we should come here first. If you can imagine, you see the driveway and the 10 acres connected to the 32 acres out back. I'd like to mark off about 4 acres just to the right of that existing driveway and have some kind of easement or common driveway going to the house and the rest of it connecting back to the 30 acres. It's kind of confusing. We started the house on 10 acres. My dad came, so it was all a big family deal, and I rented the houses now. We've been trying to straighten out the right-of-ways.
By the time it looks like 3 lots.
We have 70, 68, 66, and then 66R. So there are 4 houses out there, 3 houses. There's one on the 10 acres I'm asking to split up. The next one was my dad's at 66, 68.
Oh, so the 10-acre lots is the 2 upper lots, and that's the 2 we're looking
Yeah, the one further south on Ledge Farm Road, 70. And map 58, lot 6A. 6A is the 10 acres. Well, it's now connected to the back, 32 acres.
It looks like lot 6-1 and 6-1A looks like it has a total of 10.4 acres. And that's the one I'm trying to break.
Lot 6A.
We don't have them at the street. This is just the tax map.
Labeled as 6-1 and 6-1A, not just a 6A.
6A is the third one.
The 6A on the bottom.
On the bottom, but not the top ones.
There we go. Yeah, see, all we
Just-
see is this.
Just show us on this what you want to
Yeah,
do.
just make sure Terry can see too. Yeah. So where's the existing thing?
How many lots are there?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, or 4?
Well, there's a fourth one in the back, so there's 4 lots in all, right? 4 lots.
2 acres?
So there's a middle one too, so it's 5
That's
lots.
okay, I want to.
So what's your proposal is to take? Yeah.
Go, here's our driveway right now. I want to go.
So then this lot will be continued to that. Okay. You just want to separate this off. And This is going to be 5 feet.
It's
Now-
Oh,
Does that make sense?
it does now.
But now it
I'm glad you.
Terry, did you see that?
I was looking at the wrong parcel.
Yeah. It's this
We all
one.
were.
This wants to go back to the.
Lot C is the one that we're
break
subdividing,
about here,
Yeah, because she did, it isn't listed at all
something like
here.
that.
and it's not subdivided,
Right.
Thank you.
not even showing.
Right.
Her lot lines aren't even showing on this yet.
Not correct. So who's going to do the survey work for you?
Questions?
To be clear, the survey hasn't been done yet, but when they do it, you're gonna be 5 feet short, so you just,
Right. I would start here.
Now you're going to the planning board. So as long as the map shows up with the proposed lines on it, it matches.
But I think our motion should somehow indicate.
considering. Okay, I was just making sure.
I
Thank
can
you.
make a comment after. I'm a land surveyor.
Yeah,
As far as the road frontage, why is this piece?
They only have 395, they don't have 400. Make it 400.
Thought they had.
They thought they had it, but when it was resurveyed.
I saw that part in her thing. As to, if they're breaking something off of this big piece of property, why it wouldn't have.
my question is, do they actually have to have their surveyor draw that line in and come back to us? I mean, we don't really, on the plan for us to
They can draw it
consider.
on,
Right now?
they
I got
can
it.
draw it on right now, close enough. But right now, you don't know, you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Generally, you just don't know it's done. They could draw it as close as they can. It may or may not meet state rules, but as long as it meets.
Spirit and intent of the
I'd say
law.
as long as we understand, and I do understand what she was talking about.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, she did it. And that was just, can I just look at that?
Currently, though, this
Right
lot
beside the
is all of
driveway,
this
right?
piece, right? This lot is
Correct.
40 acres.
Coming right up the driveway and right to the back.
Yeah, when she showed us what she was talking about, I did it.
Okay. Any butters? Anybody else from the audience wish to speak to this case? All right, I make a motion that we accept case 17002 VA with stipulation that it incorporates the as-drawn plans from the applicant, from showing the approximate boundary lines.
You get a copy of it?
We will.
You'll have to submit it, yeah.
You guys okay with parting with that? Or you can mark up my copy, my smaller copy. Whatever you guys want to do.
Before you get to the planning board, you're gonna have your surveyor redo that.
Actually, to our secretary. Our
That's-
clerk.
You won't be needing that one. You won't be needing that one.
I second the motion to approve.
Aye.
All right, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And again, you have a 30-day appeal window if anybody wants to complain, you got 30 days to do so.
Just gonna put approved with lot line added.
That certainly doesn't stop you from touching base with Mr. Landry and having him review the map. Thank you. All right, closing case 17002 VA. And opening, case 17004, application from Matthew and Diane Sherman. Requesting a variance from Part 2, Section C2 of the zoning ordinance, and a single-family dwelling within 15 feet, I'm guessing a side property line, where 50 feet is required.
Of a wetland.
No, I think it's a wetland.
Wetland.
Oh, wetland. Okay, thank you. The property is located at 35 Raymond Road in Nottingham, New Hampshire, identified as tax map 53, lot 16.
Okay, I'm Ross Blaisdell. I'm the septic designer, and I'm a wetland scientist and land surveyor. Yep. So there's a dilapidated house on the lot. It's just up from the New Hope Church. And it's about, I think it's like less than a foot off the road right away. It's just about touching the road. And it's about 13 and a half feet off the existing wet as it is. So he wanted to demolish it and put a new house out back. So I went out and did the test pit and located the wetlands. And I said, oops, you couldn't even put a single wide trailer out there to just a 50-foot road setback. So he had an architect already draw up post house, so I've set it just the way he wants it, keeping it as far from the wetland as I can and off the road right away. I'm like almost 50 feet off the road right away. And it's a poorly drained wetland. If you went there in a month, you'd say, what do you mean this is wet? I mean, but it is a wetland, so. And it's all lawn right up to the wetland now, so, I mean, the house has been there over 100 years, and they've been using all of it, and we just want to take down the old house and put a new one, and follow all the present standards of the state, and when we're done, we'll have something nice to look at, rather than shack as you go by.
If you know where it is, it's the red that has a big 35 I painted on.
I see the 35 on it. Yeah.
We walked around the swamp.
Oh, you've been there?
We were just there just before the meeting.
Okay. Oh, good. It's nice when you walk ahead of time rather than say, let's come next month after you've walked it. So I appreciate that.
A lot of hill behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back, it's kind of a shoestring. It just keeps going back. It's a 4-acre lot. Yeah. So, I mean,
So
if
you're
we get
looking-
approved by you tonight, I think it'll be easy septic approval.
Aren't you gonna need a variance on this? We did a 50-foot, now we're 50 feet, right? Aren't we 50? Did we change that back?
The septic looks safe as the house.
Yeah, the septic is.
No, I'm talking about from the lot line.
It's not close to the lot line, it's only 50
Well, it's
feet.
50 feet, yeah, but isn't our setback 50 feet from the lot line with the septic?
I think it's
Did we
30,
change it?
isn't it?
On
Septic
the-
system, a minimum distance of 50 feet,
Right, non-conforming is
20
20.
feet for grandfathered non-conforming lots of less than
Right,
2
but this
acres.
isn't non-conforming.
Less than 2 acres.
But your septic, I don't see,
Well, the front line is 50 feet, 50 feet,
Oh, so
this
it's a little
just
shy
sets
to the
over.
roadway.
I'm just saying, that's
Yeah.
just, I have to come back, but, well,
I'm 35 feet off of the road right away with my son. And that's the only place I could put.
I know, that's a tight spot. I've looked everywhere.
I did my best.
Right,
Did my
yeah.
best. Just had to make the lot.
No, I get that. That's to me the logical spot there.
Yep.
We tried to move it back as far as possible, and
That designer said no, but,
Got to go with the land, right? And what the
Yeah.
land gives you.
yeah. I mean, when he's done, it will, I mean, it's really nice land and flat and.
it's a nice spot.
Can I ask a question here?
Certainly.
So the parallel, the red lines that seem to go through the middle of the proposed house,
Yeah,
is that
there's
the
a-
swale that's there?
It's a man-made swale. I augured it, looked at plans. It's not a wetland, but they'll obviously have to divert it because we don't want a culvert going under the
Oh, yeah, I
house.
was wondering.
So they'll just divert it, and there's a culvert just to the left of the existing house.
Go behind it?
Yeah, go right into right at the end of that wall, pretty much is where.
So an additional question is, it appeared from looking at it that, okay, the stone wall was evident, that there was a piece of land on the front the existing house that has a shed on it that's the same color as the house. So,
This is made up of 3 different lots, all combined, over the years. I mean, they had a
they're
lot.
one lot now.
It's one lot
Yes.
now, yeah. And, yeah, they're, to the left of the old house, right on the lot line, there's a shack that's ready to fall down.
So the lot line is this double line? Oh, the stone wall here, but this piece of land was out here. Lot line. Okay, so the whole thing, I got it, okay. So the stone wall is not the lot line.
No, that was the old, that
The old
was
lot
one
line.
of the, you go out to the big rock and then take a right.
Yes. So this is where I saw that little shed or whatever it was.
Then it goes back.
So it's like, what's the,
It's 232,
including all of this?
215, sorry.
So this is what we're hearing about, this 15 foot.
Without a variance, we'd have the first triangular house in Nottingham. I don't think you need to be.
Very patriotic.
It could be like a yurt.
Well, you're, maybe.
The old house is over here, so.
He doesn't like the idea of a yard.
Now, is the septic gonna need a variance too, the location of the septic, or?
That's what they were just talking about a minute ago.
It depends on the law about
Be
noticing.
I thought the septic had to be.
No, it used to be, we changed it this spring, I think, didn't we?
Changed it, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I know, I wasn't for it, believe me, I was happy the way it was.
Joanna, so, is it a waiver, would this be a waiver?
Codification?
It's a second variance.
Do it, and
I'll take a
problem-
piece of paper and write it right now.
The only problem that I see,
but if they
If
didn't,
there's public here,
but if they didn't come in for the 15 foot for the wetland, then
right,
septic would be a major problem. Is there any abutters?
there.
Both abutters? Oh,
Why don't we hear from the abutters and then finish? What their
So,
concerns are.
on the, Roscoe, on the building, roofing material? Asphalt shingles?
Asphalt
tin?
shingles.
Okay. My only concern is increasing, so what we have here is increasing the surface, all right within that, so close to the wetland. So what I'd like to see is what would have to come. Or something, so that we're not just covering all that. We've got the garage and the house, so that would not need to go right on the surface. That would be my.
Well, would you mind having some depth around the house? And, I think we have a ground tank. We're
Just in these
swapping,
cases.
we're maybe a third, around 13 feet.
Right. And if we go something like that, then it's a net benefit to the area. Yeah,
It does.
okay.
He is also.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, it's maybe, it's a little bit bigger, maybe a fifth bigger, I mean, And when we get rid of this, getting rid of the shed, it will probably be equal. So it's kind of a small.
And we can, in the meantime, we can hear from the butters. Did you guys wish to speak or ask questions?
So as in a butter, I guess I'm not entirely clear on, I understand when you're close to a wetland, but that doesn't mean you're close to a property. Two separate issues.
Right.
You want to look at the plan?
You're actually moving it
You want
back
the
from the
big plan?
road.
A big one here.
Oh,
This is the house right now. That way. Yep. And then further back. They're all outside, yeah. Now, a reference to hemlock trees right in the backyard. Look, they're both, see, there. One there, one there. They're right there.
Can I ask a question? So since he's moving the house back on the lot, is it true, I'm trying to remember what I saw there this afternoon, that there's woods here and then it's less open to her. It's greened by the forest.
There won't, your view won't, you won't even notice it.
Oh, yeah. Trees along the road too, so.
Pretty lot.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. So with your own state too. We have all the state.
There's, there. There's another one. The land slopes probably from you and goes down.
Downside of you.
But it goes across, if you look, there's a bunch of man-made swales, and it comes across, and it goes down here, and over here, there's a culvert that goes underneath the road to... But you have the front. Outside.
Oh.
Follows the doctor, that's what my handwriting is.
Think it's genetic? Think it's genetic?
I think it is. He's a veterinarian, so the doctor's a doctor.
My wife and I want to put a date and a plan number on that page. Make it look official.
16.
Summer is here. I like it today.
Once they say yay.
Here.
Discuss the,
Right. Yeah, that's my concern.
I did talk with, yeah, he's right next door. I talked to them, he came over and said, hey, I got your letter, and I had to show him everything I was doing, where everything was. He's fine.
It's unlikely, but.
Put the septic next to the wetland and ask for variance from the state, which I'd rather not do. They might give it to us.
No, I mean, we
No,
probably
they
would
would.
allow it, and we places where there are difficult soils, but.
No, that's a difficult lot. I mean, you're dealing with all the runoff from that slope
Yeah,
up and
there's a lot
behind
of
you.
hills.
There's nothing else to do. That is the most logical, safe spot to put a septic. I'd rather have it closer to the road.
Like where it is, like where it is right now.
I did, well, yeah,
Is there a septic
Uh,
behind the swale?
under the driveway, probably.
If you're looking at the house, there's a bunch of bricks. You have the door
Yeah.
and a door and a door. The bricks, it's right underneath there.
Oh, in the front
That'd be an
yard.
old-
Front,
Right beside the road then.
yeah.
Might even be under the road.
Ditch probably helps.
Might even run under that road a little.
Yeah.
Which helps. Yeah, so that's all to, yeah, to me, the issue is not where you put it, it's about the notice.
Right.
I mean, if he's willing to take the chance that it's not gonna get overturned, then-
He wanted to break ground.
right. You got 30 days, you gotta wait, but
You've got a removal job ahead of you.
Told me that was 4 hours.
is that
Ready to go.
Danley? Danley?
Uh,
You're two so far, go ahead.
I'm 2 for 2.
Just don't forget the rain dryers.
Yes. I make a motion that we accept case 17004VA as written and amended, and 2 amendments. First amendment is to incorporate low-impact development standards for harvesting rainwater off the roof, to minimize impacts to the wetlands. So that will include gutter sign-up system. Yeah. And second, that we accept the applicant's amendment for a variance from the front setback requirements for the septic to the, would you have 35?
I made it 30. I'm going to be 35, but I just want to say 30, just in case.
The septic to be within 30 feet of the property front line. Instead of 50 of the property. You get all that, Joe? All in favor?
Thank you.
There you guys go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so you know, we have 50-foot front setbacks now.
That is not a very good idea. I don't know whose idea it was, but what are you helping? Having a septic 50 feet off the road. It's just a recontouring of the soil and some pipes. I mean, someone that doesn't know a lot about septics made that rule. It's not a, I work in a lot of towns, and that's the only town. You're going to be getting a lot of variance. My 2 cents for it. It may be good to have it well away from the road because you saw stuff.
We are trying to maintain our rural character and keeping stuff back away from the road as opposed to like this original house.
Oh, I'd love to keep going back.
I said, no, we can't.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, let's close the hearing on case 17-004VA. And review our minutes from May 2nd.
We don't have,
I didn't think they were in there.
So we're not going to see our minutes from May 2nd, but I would like to do voting on our bylaws since we have a full board tonight. Okay. Are those in here? Yeah, we have. Thank you.
Maybe.
I didn't put them on your mind because I didn't know if you guys wanted to take them tonight.
Yeah.
But honestly, I didn't add it.
Everybody had a chance to review the bylaws?
Yeah, we did it last time.
Terry, I think you were here last time.
Yeah.
Make a motion to accept our bylaws as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. So do you need us to sign one of these copies? All right. No, thank you.
Where did our clock go?
Yeah,
We had it for
I miss it.
they took it out for a reason.
much pressure. Quick for three,
I
yeah.
left my purse at home.
Quicker than the last
For
case.
three, yeah, that last one.
Old enough to be able to see that.
A copy of the large plan by chance from?
Is that the one they marked up?
This is, she has that
Oh, okay.
for the other case.
Part of our public record
This
now.
is for tonight's, our third case.
Second?
Thank
Nay.
you, folks. Nay.
Just kidding.
You said aye and then you said nay. You can't do that.
Let's just see if anybody was listening.
I was.